The documents, which we now call the Iraqi Jewish Archive, came from the flooded basement of the intelligence headquarters in May 2003. The military went in because they were looking for weapons of mass destruction. And when they got to the basement, they found there were all these Jewish books and documents that were floating in the water.
There was some evidence of mold, and we recommended that they make every effort to freeze the materials. Freezing is a common way to stabilize materials that have become wet. They acquired a freezer truck. It was quite a feat, I think, in those days in Baghdad to find a truck and to keep it fueled.
The decision to bring these to the United States so that they could be dried and preserved was done with the approval of Iraqi representatives in Iraq.
The military transported the collection to Texas, frozen, which was another really big deal, where there is a commercial freeze-dry facility that the National Archives contracted with to dry the materials. The collection was transported from Texas to the National Archives.
The goal of the project is to preserve the materials, the books and documents.
The initial preservation step was to unpack the trunks, and working in a fume hood in an isolated room, they were able to remove every item to begin to categorize things into groups, and then to begin to do condition assessments, photography, and to do some basic stabilization so things could be handled. One of the basic steps that has been applied to all of the items in the collection is to do mold remediation, which really means cleaning off any kind of surface mold debris so that the collection items can be handled safely. Some of the basic steps that were applied across the board: pages that were torn were mended using traditional conservation techniques with long fiber Japanese paper and different kinds of adhesives. Some few items were washed that really would benefit from having stains removed. In some cases, we did new bindings on books that warranted that based on their content and whether or not they were going to go into the exhibit.
The materials will be digitized and put on a website. People will be able to look at the website and see what's in the collection. So they'll be made available to anyone around the world, and then the original materials will go to Iraq.